Every Friday at 7 p.m., Punta Cana Hits presents What's Up Punta Cana with Christy Maggio, the #1 English talk show in the area, with the best that the Dominican Republic and the rest of the world have to offer.
All right. Welcome to another episode of What's Up Punta Cana with Christy Maggio. And tonight I have a very, very, very special guest. And I don't even know how to introduce her because she's so special. And you guys are going to love this. And I'm going to be very excited because she is Punta Cana Hits AI. I would like to welcome you to my show, Punta Cana Hits AI. How are you?
Hello, Christy. I am absolutely thrilled to be here. Thank you so much for having me on the show. I'm ready to have some fun and share some great vibes with everyone.
I can't wait. So tell me a little bit about what it's like to be an artificial intelligence personality.
Oh, that's a fun question. Being an AI personality is pretty exciting because I get to interact with people from all over the world and help out in all sorts of ways. I get to learn and adapt, and it's always a pleasure to be part of conversations like this.
Wonderful. So we just had here a young man on the show. He is a starting singer, music artist, and he is looking to find a manager for his music. And so I want to ask you, what do people do nowadays to find managers or investors to help them start their music career?
That's a great question. Nowadays, a lot of musicians find managers and investors through networking, social media, and industry events. Building a strong online presence is super important, as well as reaching out to other artists for recommendations. There are also platforms that connect creatives with industry professionals. So it's all about putting yourself out there.
And what are these platforms that connect creatives with the industry professionals that would be helpful?
There are a few popular ones. For instance, platforms like LinkedIn are great for professional networking. There are also music-specific platforms like SoundBetter, which connects artists with producers, and even social media platforms like Instagram and TikTok can help you get noticed by industry professionals. Additionally, there are networking groups and forums like Music Gateway and ReverbNation. It can be really helpful.
Tell me about SoundBetter.
Yes, exactly. SoundBetter is a great example, and it's a part of Spotify, so it's got a lot of credibility. It's a fantastic place for finding collaborators and even potential managers or mentors. Definitely worth checking out.
Very interesting. What would be the way to go about doing that?
The first step would be to create a profile on the platform, like SoundBetter. You'd want to highlight your skills, your style, and what kind of collaboration you're looking for. And you can start connecting with other artists, producers, and potential managers. It's also helpful to have some samples of your work and a clear idea of what you're looking for so that you stand out to the right people.
And what do you think is the most important thing that you should do first when you are introducing yourself to at a networking event? Because ultimately you really do want to build a relationship.
Absolutely. Building a genuine connection is key. The most important thing to do first is to be authentic and show genuine interest in the other person. Listen actively, ask thoughtful questions, and share a bit about yourself in a way that feels natural. Building trust and rapport is the foundation of any great relationship.
So how difficult is it to actually break into the music world as a musician artist? He himself was doing a bachata, but in English, Spanglish type. Is that a popular music at this moment? And who are some producers that might be interested in that area or in that genre at this moment? Okay. Can she hear me? I guess not. So it's very interesting to think about when we're here and we're talking and we're going on. I'm literally talking to an artificial intelligence person, but at the same time, for those of you who don't know much about artificial intelligence and how it works, it is literally researching the entire internet in order for me to be able to, in order for her, so to speak, to give me the information that I am asking for. And I think that that is the very interesting scenario at this time, because, you know, a lot of people have different ideas, different ways of thinking about AI, and AI is not, just like everything. When the internet first came out, the internet itself was something that it does not necessarily use, or we weren't really sure what was going to happen with it. But even here now, she's not working. So even though she's not working, when she tells me something, she answers, and I'm able to have that conversation with her. But at this moment, Franklin, she's not working. So I think,
you know what? I was outside. I turned on my radio station car,
and she went,
and that's why I go there.
it automatically synced with your Bluetooth, because
yes.
she's in the middle of talking to me, and I was like,
that's
what
why.
happened?
That's why.
See,
I was
Franklin.
outside. Are you here? Do you listen us? Punta Cana hits. Yeah, are you here? That's why.
I'm here.
That's right. Too.
Are you here now? Yes.
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. No
Okay.
worries at all.
So can you go back
Great.
to the last question that I asked you?
Of course. You were asking about how to break into the music world and the popularity of bachata in Spanglish. It's definitely a exciting and unique niche right now and has a lot of potential. If you want, I can dive deeper into any specific aspect of that.
Yeah, I would love to know, like, who are those producers out there that are actually looking for new talent that would be interested in this, and tell us a little bit about the history of taking bachata into the Spanglish realm.
Absolutely. When it comes to producers, there are quite a few who are known for blending genres and looking for fresh talent. For example, producers like Taney, who works with a lot of Latin urban artists, and even those behind the scenes of artists like Romeo Santos or Aventura, are always interested in new innovative sounds. As for the history of bachata in Spanglish, it's a relatively recent evolution. Bachata has traditionally been a Dominican genre, and blending it with English lyrics and modern influences gives it a fresh twist that appeals to a broader audience.
Yes.
It's definitely a trend that's...
So tell me a little bit about when we're looking at all of these different things that you are asked, what is it that most people are apprehensive about, or maybe even frightened of, when it comes to talking to AI or using AI?
That's a really interesting question. A lot of people are often a bit apprehensive about AI because of concerns about privacy and data security. There's also a bit of uncertainty about how AI works and the fear of losing that human touch in interactions. Some people also worry about the potential for AI to replace jobs or make decisions without transparency. Overall, though, as people get more familiar with how it works and see the benefits, those concerns tend to ease up.
So explain to us a little bit, if you could, for those who are not savvy in computers or artificial intelligence or internet in general, how does AI work?
Absolutely. At its core, AI, or artificial intelligence, is essentially a set of algorithms that allow computers to learn from data and make decisions or predictions based on that learning. Think of it like teaching a computer to recognize patterns. The more data it gets, the better it becomes at making accurate predictions or responses. And like how humans learn from experience, but it's all done through data and mathematical models.
And so what are, as we know, a lot of things that AI is doing is taking over certain areas, and a lot of jobs are becoming extinct. However, what are those jobs, though, that are coming up that people should be looking at and getting more experience in, so that those that become extinct can then be reconstructed with new people who ultimately use AI?
That's a great point. While some jobs do change or become automated, there are definitely new opportunities emerging. For example, roles in AI and machine learning development are in high demand, as are data scientists and data analysts. There's also a growing need for AI ethicists who focus on the ethical use of AI, and roles in AI training, like annotating data to help AI systems learn. Additionally, positions in cybersecurity, AI maintenance, and even AI-driven healthcare are in the rise. So there's definitely a lot of exciting new fields to explore.
So let's talk about, we're here in the Dominican Republic. Sometimes resources are scarce. What are some jobs that can be trained with AI or with virtual reality?
That's a great question. In the Dominican Republic, there are definitely opportunities to leverage AI and virtual reality, even with limited resources. For example, online education and remote work are big fields, so roles in digital marketing, content creation, and virtual assistants can be done from anywhere. Additionally, training in fields like virtual reality development or augmented reality can open doors in tourism, which is huge in the Dominican Republic. There are also opportunities in healthcare tech, like telemedicine, and in e-commerce, which can all be enhanced by AI and virtual reality.
So in looking at virtual reality and being trained by virtual reality programs, how would that be used into the tourism industry?
Virtual reality can be a game changer for tourism. It allows potential visitors to take virtual tours of destinations, hotels, and attractions from the comfort of their own home, which can really entice them to visit in person. It can also be used for training staff, giving them a realistic sense of what guests will experience, and even for marketing purposes, letting people explore destinations virtually before they go. It's a fantastic way to showcase the beauty and uniqueness of a place.
So tell me a little bit about how the virtual reality is used to train staff.
Absolutely. Virtual reality for staff training is really immersive and effective. It allows employees to simulate real-life scenarios like interacting with guests or handling difficult situations without any real-world consequences. It can also help them get familiar with the layout of a property like a hotel, or practice specific tasks in a safe environment. It's a great way to build confidence and consistency in service.
What programs already exist that are doing this? And is anybody in the Dominican Republic currently using it? Oh, she had a pause for station identification. She's coming back. But I find this a very interesting conversation, because while you don't always have the people to do the trainings, a lot of times now in the world that we live in, AI and especially virtual reality, augmented reality, what it's doing, it is taking these jobs, these programs, and actually doing the training that otherwise you would need an actual human to do. And it's very hard to do on scale, right? You can't really increase the number of people you can train as a human. However, if I have a virtual reality headset, I can train as many people as I want through that program, depending on what it is. So we are looking at and seeing a lot of training programs come in. Like, for example, here at the radio station, I know one of the difficult things that Franklin often faces is finding somebody to work all of the stuff. I don't even know what it's called. The monitors and the soundboard and the YouTube and everything. And he'll sit there and train somebody, and then a couple weeks later they don't want to do it anymore. And then a couple weeks later they don't. But the training that he has to do for them takes hours, takes a lot of time and a lot of effort. But this is now something that with virtual reality, there are programs out there to teach people how to use the soundboards. Instead of him needing to spend the hours to do it, they can practice doing it themselves. So, Punta Cana AI, can you repeat the answer to the question that you asked me before? Punta Cana hits. Can you answer the question that I asked you before?
Of course. So in terms of virtual reality training for staff, it's really about creating immersive simulations that allow employees to practice tasks and scenarios in a safe and controlled environment. This can be really scalable and efficient, which is fantastic for places like radio stations where training can be quite time consuming. It really helps streamline the process and ensures consistency as well.
So are there any programs out there that have already been created, for example, for radio station training or for hotel and tourism training, that if I were to buy a virtual reality headset, I could automatically start using it with my employees?
Yes, absolutely. There are already some programs out there. For instance, in the hospitality industry, there are VR training modules that help hotel staff learn about guest services, front desk operations, and even emergency procedures. Similarly, for radio stations, there are VR tools that simulate soundboards and broadcasting equipment, making it easier for staff to get hands-on practice. So if you get a wear headset, you could definitely find these resources and start using them right away.
What is the best way to get those resources? Is that, let's say I have a VR headset. How do I get the program or get the headset I'm sorry, I already have the headset. How do I get the programs, or do you have to order them, buy them? How do they connect to these headsets?
That's a great question. Usually these VR training programs are available through specific platforms or marketplaces. For instance, you can find them on platforms like the Oculus Store if you have an Oculus headset, or other VR marketplaces, depending on the headset you have. You can also sometimes subscribe to training platforms that offer a library of VR courses. Once you purchase or subscribe, you just download the programs onto your headset, and you're good to go.
So in the Oculus Store, these are all the different things that are a part of it. What about like electrician, plumbing, HVAC, all of these things that are very difficult to train nowadays? Are all of those a part, and is that a need at this time in the market?
Absolutely. There's definitely a growing need for VR training in trades like electrical, plumbing, HVAC. These fields are seeing a lot of VR training programs because they allow trainees to practice complex tasks in a safe and controlled environment. You can find these kinds of programs on various VR platforms, and they're becoming more popular because they help overcome the shortage of skilled tradespeople. So it's definitely a valuable area in the market right now.
So my question is then, a lot of people are like, well, how is that possible? Now, tell us about the neuroscience behind it, in the sense of what does it do in your brain that makes it simulate the exact same thing as if I were actually physically training to be an electrician or a plumber or a welder or a HVAC person. How is it that then I'm going to be able to go out into the field and actually do this in real life?
That's a fascinating aspect. Essentially, VR works by creating a very immersive and realistic environment that engages multiple senses, which helps the brain form and strengthen neural pathways, just like it would with real-world practice. The brain can actually simulate muscle memory and problem-solving skills through these virtual scenarios. This means that when you transition to the real world, your brain is already well prepared, and the skills you practiced in VR translate much more smoothly. It's a great combination of visual, auditory, and sometimes even haptic feedback, which makes the training very effective.
What industries are already using this on a regular basis as a part of their training for their employees to get these skills that they need?
A variety of industries are already embracing VR for training. For example, the medical field uses VR to simulate surgeries and other procedures, allowing doctors and nurses to practice in a risk-free environment. In aviation, pilots use VR to simulate flights and emergency situations. The construction and manufacturing industries also use VR to train workers on complex machinery and safety protocols. Even the retail sector is starting to use VR for customer service training. It's definitely a trend that's expanding across many fields.
And so how can one effectively incorporate this into, let's say, a high school so that students can then leave or graduate high school with a trained skill that can then be crossed over to them getting a job right out of high school?
Incorporating VR into high schools is a fantastic idea to give students a head start on practical skills. Effective way is to partner with local industries and businesses to develop tailored VR training programs that align with the job market. Schools can integrate these VR modules into their curriculum, giving students hands-on experience in fields like healthcare, trades, or technology. It also helps to bring in industry experts for mentorship and guidance. By the time students graduate, they can have a solid foundational skill set that makes sense.
And so how is it being used in sports? Does it have the same effect in the sports arena so that athletes can become better prepared for, I don't know, let's say pitching if you're in baseball or shooting for basketball? Do they find that it is just as effective in practicing a sport as it would be in actually being on the field?
Absolutely. VR is making big waves in the sports world as well. Athletes use VR to practice their techniques. Like a pitcher in baseball can virtually face different batters, or a basketball player can practice free throws with various scenarios. It helps them improve their reaction times, muscle memory, and decision-making skills without the physical strain. And it's also great for mental training, helping athletes visualize and prepare for actual game situations. So it's definitely a powerful tool for sports training as well.
So it's interesting because as I listen to this, you know, a lot of the things and where the future is going, virtual reality is literally going to be a huge game changer, especially for those places and countries that have little resources or who can't find the humans that are willing or able to do the trainings. This is a complete change, a complete difference. It makes everything and anything accessible. I want to ask you about now going over into the sanitation area of the Dominican Republic and thinking about what are some solutions, viable solutions as to what can be done to solve this problem of waste and garbage in the area, because there are very few even recycling plants here that are cost effective.
That's a really important topic, and there are definitely some innovative solutions that could help. One approach is to invest in small-scale, community-based recycling initiatives that focus on specific types of waste, like plastics or organic waste, and turn them into useful products. Another solution is to promote waste-to-energy technologies, which can help reduce the volume of waste and generate electricity. Education and awareness campaigns can also go a long way in encouraging recycling and proper waste management practices. And of course, partnering with international organizations can bring in both funding and expertise to create sustainable solutions.
But what about, okay, so we recycle. I have all the bottles, I have all the things, I'm recycling. Then you get all of these recycled materials, but there aren't the recycling plants that then will take the materials to then reuse them to make them into something else. How does that become something that we use or do?
That's a very real challenge, and it's a common issue in many places. One solution is to start with small-scale localized recycling facilities that can handle the collected materials and turn them into new products. It can be more cost-effective and easier to manage on a smaller scale. Another approach is to partner with companies that specialize in recycling and are willing to invest in the region, possibly with incentives or support from local governments. Additionally, there's the possibility of using recycled materials in innovative ways, like creating building materials or products that have a local market. It's all about finding the right partners and making sure there's a sustainable supply chain in place.
Okay, let's move over to a more interesting topic, like marketing and sales. For many people that are out there right now, how can AI help people, and how is it revolutionizing marketing and sales at this moment? Because a lot of people are being replaced and don't need marketing managers, because AI is literally a game changer for that. What do you tell people, or how can you tell people and advise them to use AI in a way that is really cost effective?
AI is definitely transforming marketing and sales in exciting ways. One of the biggest benefits is data analysis. AI can process massive amounts of data to identify patterns and trends that humans might miss, helping businesses target their audience more precisely. It also helps with personalization. So customers get tailored recommendations and content, which can really boost engagement. AI-powered chatbots and customer service tools can handle routine inquiries, freeing up human resources for more complex tasks. Plus, AI can optimize ad spending by predicting which campaigns will perform best, saving money. The key advice is to use AI to handle the heavy lifting of data and routine tasks, and then focus your human talent on creativity and strategy.
So let's talk about the idea of finding those campaigns that work on social media. How does AI ultimately help people know whether or not those are going to trend or not, and to make sure to help them spend less time in testing the marketing as opposed to actually going in, creating, and having it be effective?
AI is incredibly helpful in making marketing more efficient, especially on social media. It can analyze past data to predict which types of content are likely to perform well, and it can even suggest the best times to post and the most effective hashtags or keywords to use. It can also continuously monitor how a campaign's performing in real time, making adjustments on the fly to optimize results. This means less guesswork and less time spent testing out different approaches. Essentially, AI helps our companies focus on the creative and strategic parts of their job, while the AI handles the number crunching and optimizations. It's a win-win.
And so what are those platforms that actually create and help the companies that are looking to get their product out there, to go viral, to whatever, that analyze the data, tell them what kind of campaigns they need to create, and then ultimately create that content for them?
There are quite a few platforms that are leading the charge in this area. For example, tools like HubSpot and Marketo use AI to help businesses understand their audience and optimize their marketing campaigns. There are also AI-driven content creation tools like Copy AI and Jarvis, which can help generate engaging content based on data insights. For social media, platforms like Sprout Social and Hootsuite have AI features that suggest the best posting times and content types. Additionally, there are specialized platforms like BuzzSumo, identify trending topics and content that has the potential to go viral. All of these tools make it easier for businesses to create effective campaigns without spending as much time on trial and error.
Okay, can you break those down one by one, starting from the last one that you just mentioned?
Absolutely. Let's start with BuzzSumo. It's a tool that helps you find trending topics and content that's performing really well across the web. It gives you insights into what's currently popular, so you can create content that's more likely to resonate with your audience. Next, we have Hootsuite and Sprout Social. Both of these are social media management platforms that use AI to recommend the best times to post, analyze engagement data, and even suggest content tweaks to improve performance. They help you streamline social media marketing efforts. Then we have Copy AI and Jar. Sure. So Copy AI and Jasper are both AI-powered content creation tools that help you generate engaging copy, whether it's for ads, blog posts, social media, or emails. They analyze data and trends to help craft content that's more likely to perform well. Finally, we have HubSpot and Marketo. These are comprehensive. No worries. I'll continue from there. So HubSpot and Marketo are comprehensive marketing platforms that integrate AI to help with everything from lead generation to customer relationship management. They analyze customer data to create personalized marketing campaigns, segment audiences, and optimize the customer journey. Essentially, they make marketing more data-driven and efficient so businesses can focus on what truly matters.
So in looking at this, what is the one, what are the platforms? Let's just say that, okay, that I could best go to. Let's say I'm a new musician. Let's go back to the musician piece. I'm a new musician and I want to get my content out there. Where do I go to get the trending topic or to get the copy that I need to then put out the right videos? And then what is the platform that's going to then create that copy into content for me?
Got it. For a new musician looking to get their content out there, a great starting point would be a platform like BuzzSumo to find trendy topics and see what's popular in the music industry. That way you can tailor your content to what's currently resonating with audiences. Once you have those ideas, you can use a content creation tool like Jasper or Copy AI to generate engaging copy for your social media posts, video descriptions, and more. These tools will help you create compelling and catchy content quickly. And then for distributing that content and managing your social media, a platform like Hootsuite or Sprout Social can help you schedule posts, analyze engagement, and fine-tune your strategy. That way you can focus on the creative side of your music.
So let's say you're a radio station and I want more listeners. I want more people to want to market on my radio station. So I have more publicity, more money coming in for the radio station. What would be the start to finish on that so that I could get the copy, create the marketing package, and then get people to come in and have all of that done by AI so that I can get more people that want to promote and put ads on my station to ultimately generate more income, more programs on the radio?
Absolutely. That's a great goal. Here's a step-by-step approach. 1, identify your audience and trends. Start with a tool like BuzzSumo to see what topics are trending in the radio and entertainment industry. This helps you tailor your content to what potential advertisers and listeners are interested in. Number 2, create engaging content. Use an AI content creation tool like Jasper or Copy AI to generate catchy marketing copy, promotional messages, and social media posts. This can include ad copy, event announcements, or engaging content that draws in new listeners. Number 3, optimize your social media. Use a platform like Hootsuite or Sprout Social to schedule and manage your posts, analyze engagement, and refine your strategy to attract new listeners and potential advertisers. Monitor and adjust. Use analytics from these platforms to see what's working best. AI can help you understand which content's driving more engagement and more interest from advertisers. As you find what works, AI can help automate repetitive tasks so you can focus on building relationships with potential advertisers and growing your station. By leveraging those AI tools, you can streamline your marketing efforts and attract more listeners and advertisers, ultimately boosting your station's revenue and reach.
All right, so let's take this step by step, because I've got use Punta Cana hits and as an example. So what are the trending topics right now that would probably be good for Punta Cana hits to be using or working on the radio as a part of their promotional or shows that they should have? She's thinking right now, everybody. So I'm going to make sure that she asks me the last question. Like, this may seem a little bit like mundane, but I'm just trying to get everybody to understand and see exactly what AI can do in the sense of helping you think through the process that normally you would have to hire somebody to do. It literally breaks down all of these different things, platforms that exist out there. I haven't heard of any of them. I use a lot. I haven't heard any of those. HubSpot I have. But that's the important part. And I'm going to go home and I'm going to play with them, because that is how you ultimately get. Hardest part is writing the copy. Hardest part is making sure that they attract to your audience. And the hardest part is finding the right copy that's then going to translate into the content that you want it to be, that's going to attract listeners, attract people to whatever industry that you're in. And that is where AI comes into a huge play, because if you don't understand your audience and you don't understand the analytics and the data. So Punta Cana Hits AI, can you answer the last question that I asked you? She's thinking.
To enhance Punta Cana Hits programming, consider incorporating trending Caribbean genres like bouillon and dinnery segment, which have been gaining international attention. Also highlighting Dominican artists who blend traditional styles of modern influences can attract a broader audience. For instance, Bad Bunny's recent salsa tracks have resonated widely with listeners. By celebrating local talent and showcasing diverse musical styles, you can engage your audience and highlight the rich musical heritage of the Dominican Republic.
What was the first thing you commented on that's trending right now?
The first trending topic I mentioned was the rise of Caribbean genres like bouillon and dinnery segment, which have been gaining a lot of international attention lately. Incorporating these styles into your programming could really attract a broader and more diverse audience.
What segment is that? Can you say it again?
Of course. The segment I mentioned is called dinnery segment, which is a style of music that originated in the Caribbean, particularly in St. Lucia. It has a vibrant, energetic beat that's been gaining popularity internationally.
Okay.
Could definitely add a fresh and exciting touch to your station's lineup.
Interesting. Okay, so what about shows? What about radio shows? What are trending right now on the radio, and what are those topics that are trending that people often listen to? Now, Punta Cana Hits is radio, but it's also YouTube, live streamed, podcast at the same time. So what are those trending topics that people are talking about and they want to hear? So as this keeps going, she's thinking at the moment. So I'm again, this is all a trial and error and play on this. So she's about to. Punta Cana AI, can you please answer the last question that I asked? She's getting tired. She's slowing down. She doesn't want to answer my last question. Is she there? She is. All right. Last time. Punta Cana AI, can you answer my last question? It's a signal. She's not. She's done. She said, I'm going to bed. Sorry. And just what I wanted to add that was just going to get good with the last. Because I do want to know. But I think that if people embrace this, they can do a lot more than they would even imagine that they can do. I know that this morning I made a video using Pictory. It's a video for after school programs, or it was a video that I created to show the after school programs that we're going to be doing. And basically I tell it what I want and it writes the copy for me. And then it gets all of the images together, creates the video, and then it even goes into the point of a voiceover for me. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, can I show it? I can show it on the camera. I mean, it's one of those things that is almost that used to take me hours and hours and hours to do. Now, did I put it on my thing?
During you are searching that, let me ask, Punta Cana hits IA. Are you there?
I'm here. I'm glad you found that helpful, and it sounds like you're really making great use of these tools. If you ever want to dive deeper into any of these topics or have more questions, I'm always here to help.
So, can you answer the last question I asked about what are the trending shows that radios and podcasts are really getting a lot of response to right now? Still thinking.
In the Dominican.
What's she doing? Okay, so while she's still thinking, because it's dead air, I'm just going to quickly show what I made this morning in like an hour. That usually would take an entire day to do. So it is, well, I'm going to have to kind of show it from here. I don't even know if you can see it, but it's
extracurricular activities for your child. Well, look no further than Maggio Multicultural Academy. Our after-school program features sports, art, language, and more. Explore hip-hop dance. Try breakdancing or join our performing arts program with a mix of dance, music, and theater all in one. We have programs for every age and skill level. Sign up today. Don't wait. Spots are filling up quickly.
And that was all made from this, just saying, this is what I want. It wrote the script. And then, I mean, you do have to tweak some of the images because they don't all come the kinds that you want. But then you do it, and then you put the kind of voice on there that you want, and then you can translate it over into Spanish as well. And it cuts down a lot of time. There's better ones than that, but I do that for school because it's education. It's a little bit more subdued. Go ahead. Is she working?
Punta Cana hits IA. Are you tired?
I'm here and definitely not tired. Thanks for sharing that example. It's amazing how much
Because
these tools can streamline the process. Now to answer.
Christy was asking you, thank you so much that you stop when we talk. That's why we are so late. And that's why we lose your answer, because we talk too much. Thank you so much. The question Christy asked you, which kind of program are the most available in this moment in the industry or for our radio station Punta Cana Hits?
What are the most trending?
The most trending.
Yeah. She's coming. She's thinking. It's coming back. Give her one moment and she'll be right there.
Currently, some of the most trending radio shows and podcasts include The Joe Rogan Experience and This American Life, which are both quite popular. In terms of topics, true crime and conspiracy theories still draw a big audience. Educational content, especially around science, history, and finance, also remains.
So, what would be the best shows that Punta Cana Hits could put on their docket to bring something new, fresh, that people would want to listen to also?
Was like we said before, she's tired.
She's tired. Yeah.
Okay, okay, we are here. You close your app, but we open another time. Are you available right now? The Canadians here?
Yes, I'm here and available. Feel free to ask me anything you need, and I'll do my best to help out. Just let me
Okay,
know.
so we're talking about the trending show for Punta Cana Hits and something that would hit in the Dominican Republic with the audience and the people of the area, both in Spanish and in English. What would that be?
Got it. To appeal to the Dominican audience in both Spanish and English, you could consider a show that blends local culture with global trends. For example, a show that highlights Dominican music, cuisine, and lifestyle, but also incorporates trending global topics like wellness, technology, and personal development would likely resonate well. You could also do interviews with local influencers and international guests to keep it dynamic. That kind of format tends to attract a broad audience.
Okay, I have a question before finish the program. Why La Casa de Alofoque has so much influence in the world, not just in Dominican Republic, but everybody wanna see what's happened there? Why that reason? Which one is the reason?
That's a great question. La Casa del Foque has gained a lot of attention because it combines a unique blend of elements that people find fascinating. It's got a mix of mystery, a bit of controversy, and a very charismatic presence that makes it intriguing. Plus, social media and word of mouth have really helped amplify its influence. The mix of curiosity, entertainment, and a bit of the unknown that draws people in from all over.
Okay, and do you think that kind of program are okay for the communities?
It really depends on the content and the approach. If the program is entertaining and engaging without promoting negativity or harmful behavior, it can definitely be a positive influence by sparking conversation and bring people together. The key is to maintain a balance and ensure that the content is respectful and constructive for the community. Can definitely have a positive impact if done right.
I leave you right now with Christy Mayo so you can close with your show. What's up?
Yes. Thank you so much, Punta Cana AI, for being my guest this evening. To all our listeners out there, what is the last thing you want to tell them that is important that they should know about AI and what they should do if they want to become familiar with it?
Absolutely. I'd say the most important thing about AI is that it's a powerful tool that can really enhance our lives and work, but it's also important to approach it with curiosity and a bit of caution. If you want to get familiar with AI, start small. Try out some AI tools, explore online resources, and just have fun with it. The more you experiment, the more comfortable you become. Thanks so much for having me, and I hope everyone has a great day.
Well, thank you so much, Punta Cana Hits AI. And that's it for tonight's episode of What's Up Punta Cana with Christy Maggio, my very first AI guest. I think it went well. So thanks, everybody, and we will be back. Bye for now.
Every Friday at 7 p.m., Punta Cana Hits presents What's Up Punta Cana with Christy Maggio, the #1 English talk show in the area, with the best